Would you like to learn how you can draw an accurate sketch of a photo just like this? Then watch this video. Hey there, my name is Victoria and it's so nice to see you again. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you. Why don't you click the subscribe button to be a part of this learning family? If you have done that, let's get right into the video. To get an accurate sketch, there are essentially three methods: freehand sketching, grid method, and Loomis method. The grid method is a tried and true method to create accurate drawings from photo. In this technique, you need to draw vertical and horizontal lines to form a grid on your reference photo. You can decide to print out your photo and draw the grid on it, or simply use a grid app on your mobile device. I personally like to use the grid method because it's easy to work with. Now, let's give an example. If your photo is 10 by 10 inches and you have made a grid made of inch squares on it, you could use a drawing paper that is 10 by 10 inches, 20 by 20 inches, etc. If you choose to work on a 20 by 20 inches paper, your grid squares would need to be 2 times 1 inch, which will give you 2 inches. A good way of checking to see if your drawing grid matches your photo grid is counting the number of boxes. You should have the same number of boxes on both drawing and photo grids. For example, if you have 20 boxes on your photo grid, then you should have 20 boxes on your drawing grid at the end. If you don't, then you have done something wrong. That being said, let's practice what we just discussed now using a simple grid app that you can download to your mobile phone. The name of the app we would be using is called the Grid Maker. And so let's go ahead to select the picture we will use for this tutorial. The next step is to click on squares, and this will allow us to input the number of rows and columns we want. You can use 12, 11, or 10. For this tutorial, we're going to be using 10 rows and 10 columns. For more accuracy, I like to click on diagonal option to add diagonal lines to the grid. This is optional. I also like to reduce the thickness of the grid lines to just 1, as I prefer the lines to be very faint. Another thing you can also do here is to label your grid, but that's optional and I don't do it. Here is the finished grid, and we have 10 rows and 10 columns, and all we have to do is to replicate this on our drawing paper. The final step is to save this as JPEG to our phone. The paper size we are going to be working with is 10 by 10 inches, and what we are going to do is to measure 1 inch up to 10 inches around the 4 edges of the paper. If you like, you can scale it up and use 20 by 20 inches paper. All you have to do is to multiply your measurement by 2. The next step is to make vertical and horizontal lines on the paper by joining the marks on the edges of the paper together. The next step is to add diagonal lines across the grid, but this is optional. You can choose to do it or not do it. However, I like to add it because it gives me more precision and accuracy. The most important tip when it comes to using the grid technique is to focus on one box at a time and sketch the shape you see in each box on your drawing paper. Looking at the grid as a whole can seem complex, but it becomes easy when you treat every part of the grid individually and see how each part of the image come in contact with the grid lines. Another important tip to note is to use an HB pencil for this whole process and not press hard, rather draw lightly, as mistakes are common. If you draw lightly, you can erase easily. You also have to take your time on this process, as it will give you the accurate proportion on any scale if done right. Remember, an accurate proportion is key to achieving realism. You also don't have to worry about getting all the details down in this step. What is most important is getting the right proportions. A few advantages of using the grid method is that it helps artists to learn to draw accurately, whether you want to enlarge your scale or reduce it, as compared to freehand sketching, and most professional artists make use of the grid method. It also helps to improve your observation skills as an artist. It helps you to recognize shapes, forms and lines, as these elements are key to improving your art skills. The reference photo is already on the left side of the screen, so you can follow along, and let's do this together. If you stayed till this time, thank you for watching. and I hope you have learned one or two things that will help you improve your art skills. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, be a part of the learning family, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye!